Okay, Monday morning here at Miles Anderson Vineyard, so I want to talk to you about what we're doing. We're getting prepared for our Syrah planting that will be going on in about 20 minutes here. Because our plan for this vineyard is more of organic with a biodynamic lean, we are starting with the soil. So what we have here is about 3 yards worth of compost. Now I want to talk to you about compost, why it's important, and some important considerations. Compost is a good source of nutrients, organic matter, all these things are important for anything to grow. What you have to consider is where your compost is coming, making sure you have the right nutrient contents, how much do you actually need. Nitrogen is super important for everything we do as far as growing in agriculture. Nitrogen for our grapevines is supplied in several different ways. Organic matter is a slow breakdown. Amino acids, which are actually very readily taken up, but you have to actually have a living, breathing, dynamic soil to have a fair amount of amino acids. Ammonium and nitrate. This right here is about 1.2% nitrogen. Now that might sound like a small amount. I'm going to put this into practical terms for you. This is 3 yards at a density of 800 pounds per square yard. So that's 2,400 pounds that we have here. At 1.2%, that's 28.8 pounds of nitrogen. Okay? What does that mean to you? Your grapevines will utilize nitrogen at the rate of about 10 pounds per ton of grapes. So if you're producing 3 tons of grapes per acre, right? So 6,000 pounds, 3 tons of grapes, then you need 30 pounds of nitrogen. Again, 10 pounds per ton of grapes. For all of this, we have 28.8 pounds. It's just under 30 pounds. So if we were to apply all this to 1 acre, we'd have just enough for 3 tons. However, most of this is going to be not readily available right now. As far as compost, in the most ideal of circumstances, you'll have about 40% of this available to you in year 1. 40% spread out. Realistically, probably closer to 35. So if we have 28.8 pounds of nitrogen, we're probably only going to get just over 10 pounds of that utilizable this season. So you better have prepared prior to. Luckily for us, we have already applied nitrogen in the soil at about 12 pounds to the acre several months back. Then we're going to apply this, and that's going to allow us to get through the season, and the rest of the organic matter left over, the 60%, is going to break down going into the fall and get us ready for next season as well. So that's nitrogen. That's a really basic larger calculation. And something else to consider is your calcium content. In regions like eastern Washington, most of Idaho, eastern Oregon, the soils are really notoriously low on organic matter and things like calcium. Let me show you what I mean. This is our compost, right? Sourced locally. It's fresh, it's dark, it's breathing, it's alive. A lot of good stuff here, okay? And I believe our intern Emily volunteered to taste it, right?
Yes, of course.
Sweet.
Yum.
I was informed correctly. You look at this compared to this. This is normally what we have in eastern Washington. This is a lot of silt-blown lusk, sandy loam we have out here as well. Very, very low on organic matter. Typically, you can expect anywhere from 0.5 to maybe 2% organic matter. This is really, really good for controlling vigor in grapevines. Question is, can you supply this and make a healthier grapevine and still control your vines? The answer is yes, but you have a much greater reliance on proper use of irrigation, variety and clonal selection, overall integrated pest management. This is never just the answer. This is one of the answers. We'll talk about this a lot more later.